Thank everyone for coming today. We'll get started. I need a motion to suspend the rules.
I'll move it. I'll second it.
All right, moved by Mr. Shoemaker, seconded by Mr. Gray. Any discussion? All in favor? Those opposed? The motion carries. Clerk would read the revisions.
To the consent agenda, we're removing item 5U, resolution declaring real property to be surplus and authorizing the sale or lease thereof. Removing 5LL, resolution authorizing entry into site access agreement with Selco. And removing 5YY, resolution authorizing renewal of agreement with Key Impact Strategies and B. Keith Hurd.
Thank you. The chair will entertain a motion to approve the budget as amended.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Creel. Need a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Tisdale. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Move on to the presentation agenda. Mayor's report.
Thank you, Mr. President. We have a lot of smiling faces here. Welcome, everyone, to our meeting. And we have a special retirement proclamation for Tammy Mims to come up, please. And let me read this to you. But I'm going to read this so the whole world can hear this, okay?
Excuse me.
It's a great pleasure for me to honor you with this proclamation. Whereas after 39 years of dedicated work as co-director of the Gulf Coast Rescue, Tammy Mims has decided to begin the next phase of her life, retirement.
Oh, he did?
Through her leadership and service, Tammy has ministered to thousands of individuals in need by providing food for the hungry, clothing for the destitute, shelter for the weary, and a temporary home for the homeless, all while sharing the love of God through her Son, Jesus Christ. Whereas her greatest accomplishment has been ministering to women in need by offering food, clothing, furniture, and countless other items while giving their hope her smile, her encouragement, and her loving embrace. The success of the Gulf Coast Rescue Mission throughout its 60 years of service to the Mississippi Gulf Coast community has been due in large part to the dedication, compassion, and tireless commitments of Tammy. And whereas beyond her ministry to the mission, Tammy has been faithfully married to Reverend Thomas Mims for 45 years and raised 4 children. In retirement, Tammy plans to continue to be an ear to hear, a shoulder to cry on, and arms to hold and hug for those in need. Now, therefore, Andrew Fofo Gillich, Mayor of the City of Biloxi, extend my sincere gratitude and recognize Tammy for her extraordinary service, her unwavering compassion, and her lasting impact on the lives of countless individuals across the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Congratulations. One other proclamation. September is National Suicide Prevention Awareness Month, a time to raise awareness of suicide prevention and remember the lives lost by suicide. Suicide affects all ages, and according to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control, it is the second leading cause of death among ages 10 to 34, with over 49,000 lives lost in 2023. Also in 2023, an estimated 12.8 million adults in the United States reported serious thoughts of suicide and 1.5 million attempted suicide. Whereas more than 90% of those who die by suicide have a treatable mental illness condition, yet stigma and the lack of support often prevent them from seeking help. Whereas the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is available by call, text, or chat, offering immediate and life-saving assistance, and sharing this resource could save lives. Whereas the City of Biloxi encourages all citizens to learn the signs, share resources like 988, and support one another in preventing suicide. Now, therefore, I, Andrew Fofo Gillich, Mayor of the City of Biloxi, hereby proclaim the month of September 2025 as Suicide Prevention Month. Thank you very much. Ricardo to come and give us an update on insurance.
Thank you, Mayor. I know this program is new to quite a few of y'all, and so I tried to put it in a graph format right in front of y'all. Councilman Krill, Councilman Marshall, it's on the in front of you, next to y'all's nameplate.
Got it. Thank you.
So this is time for your casualty renewal. That's your liability coverages, along with your workers' comp. City of Biloxi, just give a brief history. City of Biloxi was the first city in the state of Mississippi to have an all lines aggregate or a self-insured program. And so what we do is we retain the first $150,000 of each and every claim, with the exception of law enforcement liability, where we retain the first $250,000 of each and every claim in order to get your premiums down. This was done in 1988, and premiums were skyrocketing for a lot of the larger cities and counties, and so legislation was changed to allow y'all to do this. Once you hit $800,000 in total claims for the year, then the insurance comes and picks up first dollar. It's called an all lines aggregate or a basket aggregate. And so our premiums this year, we have a slight increase. It's a 6% increase, but you have a 6.8% increase in your exposure. So your exposures have gone up in the number of vehicles as well as payroll. And so you would anticipate an increase in your liability coverage. And I know that this is a lot of information. If any of y'all would like to go over this in greater detail or look at any historical information, I can do that between now and next meeting as well. On the next page, you'll see some historical information, and because so many are new, just kind of show you where we've been and where we are throughout the course of the last 10, 15 years from a premium standpoint. Your workers' comp is very steady, and quite frankly, y'all's workers' comp claims over the past 10 years really have seen a tremendous decrease in the amount. Right now, it's at a historical low. So the administration and y'all's administrators in each department's doing a fantastic job with your employees of having a safe workforce. That's been a lot of effort done as far as reviewing the claims. I know Mr. Glavin and Mr. Tisdale takes a look at those every year, as well as the administration at a very granular level, really going from department to department to day throughout the course of the year to see where claims are coming from. Our whole coverage remains unchanged, and our excess workers' comp remains unchanged. One change that we are asking for is the Associated Adjusters, who is the third-party administrator, and I know we've spoken to Mr. Abide about this. They do an excellent job for the city. It's not a profit center, but it's also shouldn't be a loss center for us. We have not really increased rates in years. They're about a third less than what any other third-party administrator would be. And so we're asking to go up $5 an hour to $95 an hour on their services. I think Mr. Abide will back me up on this. They save the city a tremendous amount of money on how they handle our claims. And so I think that's money very well spent. And beyond that, it's really claims information. We have a slight uptick on your liability claims, but your your total spend on liability claims are down. And like I said, your work comp claims are much lower. Yes, sir.
Quick question. The 800,000 that you mentioned earlier, have we met that before?
No, you haven't, but you have exceeded, and it's intended not to hit that number.
Okay, I would hope, but I just wanted to.
So at one time, when we had claims, this was dating back probably 10 years ago, we teetered on hitting that number, and our stop loss increased to $1 million. So we've been able to get that down. We have hit or gone into the excess on some certain claims. We've spent, over the past 5 years, we've hit the insurance carrier for about $90,000 worth of claims, which isn't bad. I mean, the intention of this is for that catastrophic loss. These carriers, this is Ambridge, but it's really Brit. Y'all are one of 3 public entities they write in the state of Mississippi. They like this account because of the controls you do have in place. The self-insured retentions are quite low compared to some of your counterparts.
Now, is this where the business interruption, if we had it, would it be in this?
No, sir. So business interruption would be in your property cover.
Okay.
And we probably wouldn't be bad to do a work session on your property cover because that has changed tremendously over the past 12 months. And I do want to thank the council for allowing the administration to be involved in Coast Gov Pro to the level. He's the chairman of the Coast Gov Pro board and has been very, very vocal and involved, and it's been very beneficial. But that would be in your property coverage.
Okay.
We currently do not buy any business interruption.
Okay, can we follow his suggestion and do the workshop on the property coverage at some time, at a future date? Okay.
The best situation that we can come across with a number of participants in this pool, I guess, Frank would be the West. But I think we're on the right track to minimize the amount that we have to in insurance premiums with the proper coverage. I think we're on the right track with that. Some of the business interruption that maybe I'm hearing the wrong thing, but that could be a subject to look at. But it's
Right, and I know it's expensive. I guess my question was, based on what he said, our property, that we had several changes in a policy or in coverage.
Very briefly,
Yeah,
if the
the
council would
amount
like that.
of premiums we're going to change with this or reduce is pretty significant.
So last year, we worked with the delegation to change the law to allow for public entities to create a pool. We created that pool called Coast Gov Pro, which Biloxi was one of the leading members in. In doing that, we were able to save, the taxpayers of Biloxi were able to save about $500,000. We also got our deductibles down considerably from 5% to 3% per building, which was a huge deal. But we were able also to get additional coverages like wind-driven rain, things of that nature that had been taken away over the past 5 years. So your premiums went down, your limit of insurance stayed the same, but your coverages increased. Included in that were inspections, reports, and valuations for every property. It's a total of 937 properties across the coast that are included into this program. The market continues to soften on commercial property tremendously. I didn't believe after last year's savings that we would see a savings going into next year. If the market remains the same the way it is, not only could we see a savings, but we could see broader coverage like we're asking for 120. That's why Mayor Gillage and a few other members are going with me to London to sit in front of the syndicates that are involved in this face to face and asking for broader coverages and obviously additional additional savings. London's coming to America in October. 21 of your syndicates that are on the program will be here. They're going to physically get on buses and see our properties. And then we are going to them, not only to meet with the syndicates that are on the program, but also to encourage syndicates that aren't on the program to want to get on the program. The more capacity we get, the better pricing we could get. We're 50% domestic, 50% London in this deal.
So he's taking you to London. Are you going through Yugoslavia to get there? No? Okay, just
That's
check.
out.
I just want to make sure.
There's no more Yugoslavia.
I think what Councilman Creel is suggesting is that we do some overview when you get information, and I would suggest that it go through the insurance committee, and then from the committee work, make the recommendation for perhaps a workshop to expand what findings you have to the rest of the council.
Let me-
Is that okay, Mr. Creel?
Yeah,
Okay.
as we, I think in
Maybe
November,
a
we'll
couple
have
more.
everything lined out, but we know we're on the right track, but Frank has been demanded, his demand for these kinds of things from you across the country, so we know we're on the right track of other states. You know, we're lucky to have Frank and put this program, because it means initially about $300,000 of what we pay right now, and then the future is where the savings will be. But through his thoughts and innovation, I think he came up with this concept, and we're on the ground floor of this concept on the coast, and I think benefits will be shown very shortly.
Yes, sir.
But, you know, over the last 2 or 3 years, you know, with this war in Russia and Ukraine, that impacted what was passed to us in premiums. I mean, so it's a big deal.
Mayor, we got a long agenda.
Well,
It's a long agenda.
worth, you know, the explanation, because it's really a significant thing. Thanks, Frank.
If y'all need my cell phone number, I think everybody's got it. It's pretty easy to get, but just call me if y'all have any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Bordeaux.
That concludes my report. Thanks, Frank.
Is that it, Mayor? Thank you, thank you, Mayor. We'll go ahead and move on to council reports. Mr. Gray?
Yeah, I first want to wish Councilman Jamie Creel happy birthday. I think he turned 65 this week.
Does that conclude your report?
No.
Hopefully.
Went to the community festival against crime. Police department did one good job. It was nice to see the bomb squad out there teaching the kids about bombs and, you know, what all they do to designate them and where all they travel, and had good food. A lot of knowledge was shared out there with the little kids, and it was nice watching them all run around and interact with the police department. Seafood Museum was nice to draw down. Just hated that I didn't win. I mean, I probably could have donated that money back if I'd have won, but you know, but I didn't win, so I can't say that for sure. Celebration with the Biloxi Fire Museum was great. On October the 18th, 9 a.m. to 2, we're going to do a volunteers for the Christmas decoration prep to get everything going. Miss Kay Miller and Tyler Pruitt, and hopefully the city councilman to show up. This was for all awards, not just Ward 1. So if y'all want to come out and volunteer and y'all want to see Christmas lights up, now's the time to get it. We got over 200 lights that need to be redone and decorated. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Marshall.
Come back to me.
I'm sorry?
Come back to me.
Oh, okay. Mr. Nail?
Southern Avenue. I'm hoping that they get it a little bit better for cruising. Got a bad bump on Southern Avenue, and I guess that's to Rick.
I'll do it if you'll do it.
And Hiller Park, it's looking good. Can't wait for a new dog park, maybe bigger one. And Broadwater property, they never got back with me about riding around looking at it, but it needs to be cleaned up bad. I'm getting a lot of calls now myself. I'd like to ride around and look at it with the owner, if you would. All right, thank you, that's it.
Thank you, Mr. Nail. Mr. Creel, you want me to come back to you?
No, I'm good.
You good?
I was supposed to be 66, Wayne, but I was held back a year, so there you go. But no, we had a Ward 4 council ward meeting. Rick Weaver showed up, thank goodness, and he was able to answer a lot of questions, and we addressed a lot of needs, and the follow-up was great. So thank you. The following day with the email and the work. Just to remind our fellow councilmen, I got an
Let
email.
me clarify, you said Ward 6?
I said Ward 4.
Okay.
Ward 4, no, 6 doesn't have meetings. Anyway, so back to 4. Back to 4. So I put an email in your boxes just to remind you that going forward with citizens' requests, make sure you send them to our county clerks, not to the citizens advocate. We were instructed via email to make sure we send them to the clerk's office, and then the clerks forward it to the administration forwards it to the citizen's request, which then forwards it to the department, which, anyway, you know where I'm going there. So just make sure you send it to your council clerks. That's all I got.
Thank you, Mr. Creel. Mr. Tisdale.
Yes, sir, thank you. Really just two things. Just a reminder on Pine Grove Avenue, I know there's an infrastructure issue there. The county's willing to help pave some of that subdivision, but they're really not going to pave anything or resurface anything to that infrastructure issue. And I don't know how significant that issue is. Christie's probably familiar, much more familiar with it than I am, but anyway, if we could get moving there, might be able to get the county to chip in and eventually correct it and resurface the roads in there. And the second thing is Walt Rohde in the room? Walt, if you just stand, you don't need to do anything, just stand. Thank you. This is Walt Rohde, and he works. He works for the city, and he works with the FEMA contractors and everything. Has anybody been down Beauvoir Road in the last week? All right, it's paved. This guy pushed it and got it done. I just want you to know that, because it's been a pain for 3 years, just about. So thank you, Walt. I appreciate it. Thank you. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Tisdale. Mr. Shoemaker.
Oh, just a few things. I know normally I would start out by saying something about grass cutting. However, I'm not going to say it this time. They've actually been cutting grass in Ward 7, so I'm not going to complain about that. Wow. Two other things. November 13th, I'm going to have a Ward 7 council meeting. I'll have more particulars. Probably going to start at 5:30 or 6, but I'll have more particulars moving forward. But it is set now for November 13th. And lastly, the Tomlinson Medical Center on Shriners Boulevard, just north of the interstate. That's been in the works for a little while, and I spoke to the project manager again recently, and he said, hopefully, beginning of fall at some point. I know it's been pushed off several times, but they ran into a few issues. But he said, hopefully, beginning of fall, they're going to start work on that. So hopefully they will. And, well, that's all I have. Thank you.
Mr. Creel has one more thing. Go ahead, Mr. Creel.
Since he brought up your Thomas at Chick-fil-A, is my Thomas. Any update on Chick-fil-A? No. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Creel. Mr. Marshall.
Why y'all looking at me?
You got the floor. Go ahead.
Okay. I had a Ward 2 meeting. I want to thank all of the heads of departments who came out to the meeting. I appreciate your information, your input. I also had several of my city council members there. I'm glad you came and showed your support. It meant a lot to see that we're all there. I want to thank the mayor for passing through, and I appreciate that. I want to also thank Mr. Weaver for coming there and greeting my people, and I appreciate that. One of the things I want to make up to do a little house cleaning is a request. The signs that I used helped out the people in my community. Were very grateful for that. They were thankful because a lot of them, they got the little postcard. They didn't realize they got the postcard. I went out knocking on doors and passed out door hangers and everything, but what they appreciated the most was the signs. So if any way possible, we can find out if we can get some signs that when the next councilman has a meeting, we can post signs in his ward. We just use the same signs, just change the ward number and change the date. And we can get that out. It's important that the people know about that. And it helped my turnout, and it got the information out, and that way people can say, well, I didn't know. Okay? The next thing is Bush Park repairs. I requested the repairs on the pavilion to Mr. Weaver, and he came right out and did it. Those repairs have been requested for over 2 years, and nothing had been done. And Mr. Weaver made sure that it got done right away. Then the person, one of the people, several people who made a complaint, one of the people who complained, made sure that they found me and hugged me. And I guess I'm supposed to share that hug with you, but nah, you ain't getting that. Yeah. But that's just something that was very simple, that needed to be done. It was just, it's like something bothering you, nagging you, and you see it, and it was bothering them, and it was such a good thing, that, and it gave everybody a good feeling. We're thankful. But on that same park, I asked for dog signs to be put, and in your zest to be Superman, you did put dog signs up, but you put them in the wrong park, looks like. But I thank you, because I use them, I need them over there too. So in Bush Park, we also need dog signs. I have one particular resident that's, it's like her pet peeve, and she don't like dog poop in the park. And she knows who's doing it, and I ask her to leave them people alone. But there might, you know, and the next thing will be to the officers, once we get the signs up, it continues, that we send officers out there to address the issue. So much for my niceties, as usual. I have a few questions that I do need to get answered. It's part of my comments, and it's important because it determines how I proceed. I have been asking, I've been searching, trying to figure it out. But on my comments here, this is council's comment, we have a deficit budget, and I'm having trouble with it. By now you realize that when it comes to biting my tongue, I don't like the way that feels. I'm not good at it. I was elected to do a job. I put my hand on that Bible saying that I would do that job. And right now I'm having a problem understanding one major thing that would determine how I proceed going forward. I'm hearing reports that the budget deficit that I did not vote for is in between $9 and $12 million. And Ms. Diane, could you clarify that for me? Is she here?
She's not here.
Mr. Mayor, please.
If you say deficit, again, we've had a little misunderstanding about what a deficit is and a deficit budget is. You know, a deficit, in my opinion, I think we had a lot of discussions, and I want to re-hit the same thing. We were using, initially looking, if you're looking at differences between revenues and expenses, there may be in the neighborhood of about $6 million. But that's not a deficit. We're using fund balances that we gained and that we normally, again, forecast 15 months down the road to understand where we're going to be 15 months down the road. If that were going to be a negative ending balance, which I think what you passed, about $580-something thousand at the beginning, plus the revenues minus the expenses would relieve that amount of money every year. That's a forecast that we outperform. So let me say this without really raising blood pressure or anything like that, that it's not a deficit budget in the true sense of governmental accounting. What you're calling a deficit is the difference between revenues and expenses. It's an everyday battle to minimize our expenses and increase our revenues. We've been pretty powerful in maintaining a record budget for the last 4 years. $76 million, I think, versus against 84. By the time the smoke cleared, was reduced by doing some things in vacancies and so forth. But there is a difference between revenues and expenses, but it's not a deficit budget.
I'm not with that answer. But I just Googled it because I wanted to make sure, because it may have changed from the last 10 times that I Googled. And it says a budget deficit occurs when a government spends more money than it collects in revenue, primarily taxes, over a specific period, such as a fiscal year. This results in a negative balance where expenditures exceed income.
Let me say this right there. It does not result.
No, sir, I'm talking,
Okay.
sir.
Well, we're going to go into this again.
No,
And
we're
there's
not.
no call for it. Why don't you come to, I'll show you exactly what we're talking about. We talk about this for 20
Point
minutes.
of order,
Let's go
sir.
around. Okay.
I'm speaking.
Okay.
Point of order. This results in a negative balance where expenditures exceed income, which is what we have. To cover the difference, the government typically borrows money, which we have a $10 million bond, which is borrowing money. And this adds to the national debt, adds to the debt and a cumulative total of past deficits. I researched also to find out how many other cities has a $6 to $12 million deficit. We're the only one in this whole state. I know it's uncomfortable, but we were sent here to do a job, whether we like it or not. And we are the most successfully blessed city in this whole state. We have 8 casinos. We have one of the most prized Air Force bases in the whole country. We have beaches. People in the Delta, they got cotton fields. We got beautiful beaches. We have everything that a city could ever want. For us to sit here and change the definition of a deficit to fit the needs of anyone, I'm totally uncomfortable with. I cannot sit quietly about, and I'm going to be speaking from here forward, from this meeting forward. I'm going to treat this as if it is what it is. It is what it is. Bad. The citizens deserve better. We should not be pulling $1.9 million from our police department when we need them. Our employees work their butts off. We went in with a $2 million deficit. The next meeting comes out, our leadership went in and came back with a $4 million deficit. Now we're at $6 to $12 million deficit. I'm hoping we don't have any more meetings. Every time we go to meet, we get worse. I don't want to sit here and rubber stamp everything that comes aboard and comes across this desk, knowing the truth of the matter. I don't want to play word games about what is the definition of a deficit. We are all grown in this room. No other city has this problem. And this, of all the cities, should never have that problem. We are here to do a job as fellow councilmen. I count on you. We need to make every decision on everything, every item on this agenda count. We need to move forward. We have done in the last week, since this budget came out, over the weekend and even including today, we have made strides by working together, coming together, and doing this, and we're able to get things done on this agenda, which I don't like today. But we've shown where we can do this. The effort that we spent in the last 48 hours, we need to spend it every day until we get this fixed for the citizens who elected us. Before we put another budget out next year, we start today, this meeting, working towards clearing up every single dollar. This is not to say I'm putting my mayor down, but this is me letting my mayor know I will speak up. I will not vote on anything that's not going to be a help to the city or that I feel is not good for this city. or I feel it's gonna hurt the city financially or any other way. We do not have a plan that I can put my fingers on about how we're gonna fix this. No one in leadership has come forward with a plan and said, this is the organization, this is how we're gonna fix this deficit going forward. We had workshops on trying to figure out what the deficit was gonna be, which we didn't come out to be. We didn't really come clear on. We need workshops to figure out a plan and a roadmap that we can present to each of our wards to let our citizens know, yes, we are embarrassed by this. We do not like this, and yes, we are committed to fixing this starting today. If it's something on this agenda that's not helping us, moving us forward, we need to start today. Tabling it until we get an understanding. We should not blindly vote and rubber stamp things we don't understand. If it was not presented to us in a timely manner so we can look at it, we need to stop it there. We have got to make a difference. I have way more to say, but we're going to start today. I'm going to start today. I'm asking each of my council members to do it today. It's okay to table things. It's okay to say, I don't understand this. Let's wait and look at it another day. Give me more time. When someone presents something in the budget, in this agenda we don't understand, table it so we can understand our citizens deserve it. And that's what I wanted to say. And I think I said it nicely. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Marshall. Mr. Gray, you had another thought?
Yeah, November the 6th, I'm gonna have a Ward 1 meeting at Frank Gruage Center at 5:30. I just want to bring that up.
Thank you, Mr. Gray. I got a few things. I don't want to belabor the budget thing. I hear what Mr. Marshall is saying, and what he is saying is that the revenues that we are projecting to generate this year do not cover the expenses we're anticipating or projecting to spend this year. He is correct on that. However, we did have a surplus last fiscal year, which was a beginning balance, or we were frugal in not spending all of our money last year, so we're starting with a $12 or $13 million balance before those projected, a dollar of any of those projected 70-something $million comes into us. And therefore, the ending balance, as the mayor alluded to, is somewhere in that 500,000, 600,000 range. We're not in a deficit if we hold true to this budget this year. I do agree with Mr. Marshall that each and every day we should be taking steps to improve it. And if we can improve that ending balance to $1 million or $2 million or $3 million or whatever, we should roll up our sleeves and work our butts off to achieve that also. And as I've mentioned earlier, I don't see this council rubber stamping everything or sitting on their laurels or hands to achieve that. A couple of other things in my ward, near Oak Ridge. I know that we recently, or today on the agenda, we have a measure to invoke a interlocal agreement. The county is allowed to assist with paving that road. I am real pleased with the progress up in the new section of Ward 6, used to be Ward 7. We've paved a lot of roads up there, Hickman, Audubon, Paradise Lane, Eden Place, among others. Skeet Hunt has been another one, Big John Road, all in the last year and a half, so I'm real proud of that. I'm also happy to report that dredging continues in Brazier Bayou. We have a lot of progress being made. There's the smaller barges that are working their way through the inlets over there. I'm getting a lot of calls from the Brazier residents. They're real happy to see that progress and see their waterfront property improve. And I also got some encouraging news that there may be additional funding that might become available to map out some additional dredging in that area. So I'm kind of opening that up eventually for some of the residents that are asking, what about their bayous or their canals? So that's coming. We're working on it. And last, it's a very emotional topic for me. This past weekend, we saw a candlelight vigil at the lighthouse. Nearly 2,000 people showed up for that. It was to memorialize Charlie Kirk. And God bless Charlie Kirk. I'm embarrassed that our local media was but a whisper. Our WOX did give it a little bit, but you don't see it on their Facebook page. You don't see it on their web page. You can go to YouTube and you can see a whisper of it. But you don't hear a whisper from our youth. Our youth are tuning in to the work that Charlie Kirk did, and I tout him as a civil rights leader. He debated anyone freely. Despite his differences, he told everyone who debated with him that he loved them. He challenged people to look deeper than just what they felt or just what they heard, and to come with facts. He came with facts. Was he more prepared than most of those students on those campuses or those professors that, in Cambridge and other areas? He came prepared, not only from his Christian values, but from scientific, biological, political. He came prepared to debate. And when the debate was finished, he thanked everyone that came to debate him to show up, and they were showing up. Sun Herald, where were you? Didn't see anything in the Sun Herald. We saw it early when the incident first occurred, what was published. Didn't see you afterwards. WXXV, where were you? I'll wait for the answer. Maybe there's a good reason, for it. But, it's up to us as good Christian men and women, and I listened to him, but I'll tell you what was compelling. I called my son. I said, you hear about what happened? He said, yeah, I listened to Charlie Kirk. My son's 37 years old. That makes sense. And then my grandson, 14 years old, he came into the living room and he asked me, Papa, did you hear about Charlie Kirk? I said, yeah, how do you know about Charlie Kirk? He said, I listened to his TikTok. Let's not let our youth listen to TikTok. That's good. That's good they're getting a source. But they need to be listening to us as parents, as fathers, as grandfathers, more and more. And I'm not here to speak on political issues or to take a role of Charlie Kirk. That's not going to be me. But I do want to recognize the nearly 2,000 people who peacefully showed up with candles and sung. You could hear the songs that they were singing. And it was very moving to see that we would take that kind of action. With that, I'll conclude my report. We'll move on to the citizens' comments. We have a total allotted time of 45 minutes. You have 3 minutes once you're recognized to come up here, state your name and write it clearly, and state it clearly also for the clerk to record it. You can talk on any subject that you want, but this is not a question and answer. This is simply talking on any subject for 3 minutes that you choose to speak on. So we'll start on my left, your right. Raise your hand to be recognized if you would like to speak. Yes, sir.
Good afternoon to the councilman and the mayor and all the citizens here today. My name is Leroy Carney. I'm at 309 Keller Avenue, Biloxi. And I mention this, I guess, every year to the city councilmen, going back maybe 10 years or longer. I'm very disgusted, in particular in Ward 1 and 2. You have people that cut their grass and they deliberately brose all this grass out in the roads, okay? And they leave it that way. You can drive up down the streets anytime it's cut, and you can see. I come down Lee Street not Lee Street, that is Lee Street. I came down Lee Street the other day right before you get to the bottom of Bayview, That big lot, when it's cut on the corner, out in the road, all the way down the street there, except when you get down to a few of the neighbors who actually sweep off and, take the trash, rake it up and put it away. All of this stuff ends up in the drainage, and I can't understand how this can happen in these two areas. I don't see it when the grass is cut down in these other areas where people live at, but I notice it more or less in Ward 1 and 2. They just get it on the lawnmower and blow it all out in the streets, and it all goes down the drain. And I've mentioned this time and time again up at this meeting. I think there need to be a city ordinance passed that they can't do that. They should do the same thing I do. I go out there and sweep it up, or if I cut it, I blow it back in my yard, and mulch it up. But they blow this out in the street and let the cars pass by and take it away. And I wish you all would pass a city ordinance to change that, and that'd be very easy to do. And probably very appreciative by the people that own the cars, that all of this debris get blown up under their vehicles. And I thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else on my left, raise your hand to be recognized if you'd like to speak.
Good afternoon. My name is Ginger Collins. I live on Kensington Drive. I wanted to bring up the point that I believe that we need to have a beautification committee in this city. I've just returned from Canada on a trip, and the most stunning thing about the communities that I saw there were how well they beautified their yards and the front of their businesses. And I just would like to see that happen. I have ideas about how it can happen and not be that expensive. So I'd like to just bring this to you, bring this to your awareness, if you will. There are people in this community that will help. You don't have to pay us. It would be a volunteer type of a thing. I believe we need a committee for it, and I would like to see that happen in this city. It would make me proud to be from Biloxi. I already am proud, but it would make me prouder. Thank you.
Thank you. Can you address that? Nope. That's not the answer. Anyone else on my left? Your right. Raise your hand to be recognized. Anyone on my right?
Hi, everybody. Bob Silvestro, 181 Iris. I went to that thing, too. It was beautiful. And I noticed over the last year and a half trying to work through stuff we did, say it was the homeless situation, there would be no comment by people coming forward for the most part, except when we started to get to resolutions or solutions. And then these media outlets that we have around here would show up and spin things. So obviously WLOX, the Sun Herald, they have no shame. The rags, I don't know what they're doing, but really they had no comments about what happened with the beautiful event. Other than that, that's just my opinion. I noticed that in our neighborhood, when I see that you're having a deficit or whatever's happening, I've learned myself that the bickering back and forth it's just we need more communication with each other. And just in my small portion, I've noticed homes that were empty, that I don't know what the city's getting any taxes. But somebody comes in, they throw 80, 90 grand in it. Couple moves from California, they have no children, they're not going to school. It brings in more revenue. I thought maybe we can get some people together maybe and get some questions answered about what exactly we can do to help develop the Broadwater or help do some things to bring in more possible revenue, or try and do some stuff, try and work together, try not to be such, I don't know. I don't think people are lying. I think there's just miscommunication. And to be honest with you, things are a lot more expensive and taxes are very low here. But I'd also like to thank the police department for what they're doing in our neighborhood, working real hard. I'd also like Jerry, who we disagree on a lot of things, but we had issues with someone and he handled it. And other than that, I'd like to thank the mayor for always trying to have an open door. And I think Rick's doing a good job, although I miss Mike. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Anyone else on my right, your left? I saw several hands go up earlier. Start.
Good afternoon. My name is Mariana Barbier. I'm an attorney with the law firm of Hopkins, Barbier, and Hopkins. And I was here on item 4A of the agenda, but I guess for clarification purposes, I understand this is going to be a first reading. I'm here representing the next door neighbors on this property that's asking to be rezoned. And there are also several neighbors in opposition as well. But if it's the first reading, I don't want to take any more of the council's time. As I understand it, this is first reading. Y'all will be voting on it October 7th, I believe, so we can come back at that time and voice any opposition. But I just want clarification because there are folks that came on their own and wanted to talk about that.
It's not a question and answer, but you are correct.
Thank you.
Anyone else? My right? Yep, come on up.
My name is Anna Martin. I'm representing the property that he just spoke about. Also, just letting you know that it is the first reading, but if there's any questions that anybody has, I'll be here afterwards. I'd love to discuss the Biloxi improvement strategy plan that's on y'all's website and how it coordinates with that.
Thank you. Anyone else? My right? Your left? Anyone? Anyone in the back? Citizens' comments is now closed. We'll move on to the policy agenda. Anytime you're ready.
Ordinance to approve a zoning map amendment for a change in zoning for a parcel of land from RS5 high-density single-family residential to limited business for 287 Iroquois Street.
Chair, entertain a motion to move it. First reading.
So moved.
I'd like to have questions if we have discussion.
All right. Mr. Creel moved it for discussion. I need a second.
I'll second.
Okay. Second, we can't, even though it's a first reading, we have in the past allowed some dialogue. So go ahead, Mr. Gray.
Mr. Gary, Ms. Krill. Can you give us an understanding about this limited business? What can be there and what can't be there?
Okay. Limited business is the least intensive business zone that we have. We used to refer to it as professional business. Typically allows professional offices like an attorney's office or something along that line. There can't be any exterior signs that there's a business going on. You can't have construction equipment. You can't have trucks or anything like that. It's basically just an office with parking, and that's what they're asking for. This is what we would call transitional zoning because the property on the corner, this is located at the corner of Division Street and Iroquois, right. Almost at the corner. There's a remnant piece that was left over after the Division Street was improved. But typically you go from the NB, which is on Division Street, you transition down to the lesser intensive, which is LB, and then you would transition down to the single-family zoning, which is next to it. That's planning zoning 101. That's the way that it works.
So no store, no restaurants, no bar rooms, any of that type of stuff?
There are certain very low-intensity type things that can happen there, but they don't have the parking there to accommodate some of the things that you're asking for. So the question would be, would this be a usable lot for those things? And the answer would be no.
Okay, that's all I have.
Okay. Any other discussion? This is a first reading. Move on to the ordinance, second reading ordinance.
Ordinance to amend the Code of Ordinances pertaining to garbage collection and disposal fees.
Who moved it?
Tisdale and Creel.
All right. Mr. Tisdale, you have the floor.
Yeah, this is an increase to the garbage fee. This is a contractual increase per the agreement that is brokered more or less by the Harrison County Utility Authority. Almost all the cities in Harrison County belong to the utility authority. So this is just a contractual obligation. And it's, I guess, what would be termed a pass-through fee on those folks who have garbage cans that they put by the curb every evening in the city of Biloxi. That's it. Thank you.
Mr. Creel, you got any more garbage?
Just to add the 13-cent administration fee. That's all I got.
All right. Any other discussion? There being none, call for the question. All in favor? Those opposed? Motion carries unanimous.
Resolution appointing E. Michael Leonard, Ward 3 Representative to the Biloxi Civil Service Commission.
Chair entertain a motion. Mr. Nail, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Tisdale, emphatically. Discussion? Mr. Nail? No. Mr. Tisdale?
I have nothing to add. Mike's a good man, and this will keep him active with enough time to recuperate between the meetings, which we all need from time to time. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
None.
All in favor? Those opposed? Motion carries unanimous.
Resolution authorizing facility rental agreement with Mississippi Gulf Coast Chamber of Commerce and approving a waiver of facility rental fees for the Dr. Frank Gruich Center.
Chair entertain a motion.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Creel. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Gray. Mr. Creel?
So as most of you know, we have been kind of strict on these fee waives here recently. This one, however, is for a good cause. It's for the Keesler Air Force Base. It's a breakfast for these guys. So based on the Chamber and Keesler, a dynamic duo, I would urge your support.
All right. Mr. Gray?
No, the chamber rents the office from us at the visitor center, so it's only, they'd be able to use the outside for their meetings. I think that's a great thing. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Gray. Any other discussion?
Yes, just a quick comment. I'm going to vote no on this item and several other items on the agenda simply because I don't think we should be waiving rental fees given the fiscal situation where we're trying to scrape together our nickels and dimes. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tisdale. Anyone else? All right, Chair will call for the question. All in favor? Those opposed, please raise your hand. 6-1. Motion passes.
Resolution appointing Director of the Department of Parks and Recreation.
Chair will entertain a motion.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Creel. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Mr. Gray. Mr. Creel?
This is recognizing Jamie Lee as the new Director of Parks and Recreation. I think Jamie's done a great job in the interim while he has addressed all the questions from all of us, not to mention he's addressed the budget questions. He's very resourceful, not to be remiss, but his passion for Parks and Recreation speaks volumes. So I would urge your support.
Thank you. Mr. Gray?
Yeah, I'm happy to see Jamie get this, so maybe we can move forward, get our parks back in order, get everything fixed. That's all I have.
Any other discussion?
Yeah.
Mr. Marshall?
Is that you back there?
Yep, he's back there.
All right. I gave Mr. Weaver the kudos for fixing the thing, but I know you the one that really did it. But I was kissing up a little bit. So far, the communication that I've had, I only have one problem is that I need to be able to I'm gonna ask, I need to be able to talk to you directly more. Going through Mr. Weaver for simple things, to me, is just reeks of redundancy. This man has enough job to do, and I need something done. I ask a question, I don't only tell you what to do, but if I got a question, I'd like to be able to call and ask, and that's above your head. And the people who know, that they know who I'm talking to. As far as the responses that you've been getting, I'm happy. The doors at the bathroom at Henry Beck Park is taken care of. The work that was done over at Bush Park was taken care of. I've been going to that park 2 and 3 times a night, walking that park and getting the homeless people out. And I just want to say, yeah, you earned that one. Okay, you showed what you can do. You had a little trial there, and you stepped forward and you did your job. So you're good.
Thank you, Mr. Marshall. I'd like Mr. Lee to come up front and center. Come on. You're going to get this position, you're going to talk to us a little bit.
See, I was easy on you, so remember that.
So first of all, it looks like congratulations. We haven't voted yet, but looks like congratulations. But talk to us a little bit. I mean, what is a little bit of your vision? What is a little bit of your insight? What you going to do?
Well, like Councilman Marshall was talking about, just, improving our
Speaking to the mic, Mr. Creel cannot hear you.
Yeah. Just to reiterate on Mr. Marshall, improving the aesthetics of our parks. The parks are a great amenity that we have in this city, and they should be kept up to where everybody can enjoy them in all of our wards, Ward 1 all the way through Ward 7. So that is something that, I take pride in, I think our staff takes pride in, and that's just something that we want to continue to improve upon, as well as our facilities that we have as well, not just the parks, but the rental facilities, Donald Snyder Center, the natatorium, all of them that we have underneath us.
All right, thank you for that. You got a big job. We're dependent on you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Got a vote.
Yep. Call for the question. All in favor? Those opposed? Mr. Gray, you have your hand up? Did you have your hand up?
I get another park lady.
I'm gonna reserve mine for now. Congratulations, Jamie.
Yep, I think that was unanimous. All right, let's move on. Next item.
Resolution appointing, Resolution appointing Director of the Public Works Department.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Tisdale.
Second.
Who seconded it? Mr. Creel? All right, Mr. Tisdale?
I have nothing to add. The record speaks for itself. I look forward to working with her. Thank you.
Creel?
I concur.
Any other comments on?
Yes.
Okay, you want me to come back to you, or want me to go to Mr. Gray?
You know what? Go to Mr. Gray and come back to me. Go,
Mr. Gray.
Congratulations, Rick. I guess you can take 2 of them hats and just add 1 to it. So you only lost 1 hat, really.
He's picking up another one next.
Congratulations.
All right, Mr. Marshall.
Congratulations.
All right, any other comments?
Congratulations, Rick.
Any other comments? All right, I need Ms. Lebatard to come up here.
Is it
And I want you to.
Bata?
I want to go on record. I didn't call anybody to that table.
I want you to articulate. You and I have had discussions. I know one of your dreams was to become the Director of Engineering for the city of Biloxi. Talk about this new role. Talk about how excited you are, or what some of your visions are. What you're going to bring to the table.
I am very excited to be in this new role and basically bring the department's workflow together. We already interact back and forth a lot, but we also, everything we do is so intertwined with each other. So I'm really looking forward to getting down there with Public Works and integrating the 2 departments, the 2 workflows, so that we can make all of this happen a lot easier, a lot quicker, a lot faster, stay on top of things. I'm very organized and very data-driven, so I've even got some data about grass cutting, all kinds of cool stuff that y'all are gonna be like, this is probably ridiculous. But I'm very excited to start this new adventure, and I appreciate all your support and the mayor's support.
Well, we're ridiculously happy for you, so,
Thank you.
This is a novel idea, by the way.
Thanks.
Yep.
Thanks.
thank you, and congratulations.
Congratulations.
All in favor? Those opposed? Motion carries unanimous. Next item.
Resolution to confirm mayor's appointment of Rick Weaver to the Board of Commissioners for the Harrison County Development Commission.
We just get you out of these positions, and now you're taking on new roles. But anyway, moved by Mr. Tisdale. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Creel. Mr. Tisdale.
Well, if you want something done, ask a busy person. Good for you.
Thank you.
Mr. Creel.
As he said, you got rid of 2 hats and picked up a second one. Looking forward to working with you. Thank you.
Sounds good. Any other discussion from the council?
No, you've done a great job so far, Rick, so congratulations if that's what you want. You gotta get your hard hat now, I guess, put all the stickers on that.
Any other discussions? Mr. Shoemaker, you got anything?
No, sir.
You sure?
Absolutely.
Okay, you look like you did. Mr. Marshall, you have anything? Mr. Nail, you have anything?
No, I can't wait to start working with you again.
All right, Mr. Marshall, coming back here.
Coming back to me. So far, I think I've complimented you on your job that you've done. You came in, same time we came in, and you, to be honest with you, you kind of hit the ground running. We don't always agree on everything, but when a man shows up and does his job, at the end of the day, you got to say thank you. So I do know that the position that you're going to is very important. I'm not going to make light of it. We're going to need your voice over there to help us. We have so many things that need to be done. You see that we are financially a little bit tight, but there are things that you're going to have first eyes on, first ears to. We ask that you do what you've been doing here, over there, put Biloxi first also. I know your job is with the county now and on that board, but we're a part of the county. We need projects. If you know of any projects you can send this way or get going this way, we need everything possible. And I expect that from you. I know that you're capable of doing it. If you just keep doing what you've been doing, man, you're going to be all right. Thank you.
Colonel, out of respect, I'm not going to ask you to come up here or say anything unless you want to.
No, I appreciate that. And the commissioner status that the mayor put me into is the one Mike Leonard is leaving from that, and he's moving over. And Mr. Marshall, you know I have a significant amount of economic development experience as well, too. And that is my focus for the mayor, to be able to keep him and the council abreast of what's going on countywide, but also to be able to focus and get it moving over to the east comparatively to the west and the center. And that'll be exactly what we take a look at and see how we do this. This is more of a part-time job, so. And the 2 that you just took off, quote unquote, of me, they still get the mentorship of me as well. So they're not completely out of it yet.
All right, Jerry's safe though, right? Jerry, is he safe?
Never.
Okay.
Me and Jerry actually work very well together and have been working significantly on a lot of different things for that. So as we move forward with this, we'll continue to keep the mayor and yourselves updated on the economic development side, and we'll go from there.
Thank you, Colonel. Call for the question. All in favor? Those opposed? Motion carries unanimous. You had motion on the consent?
So moved.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mayor.
Just let me follow up, and I'm appreciative of the confidence you voted in all these directors and the confidence in Rick and the relationships that I think we're going to enjoy very much over the next years. And again, this is the first time out of the box for a lot of processes, but it's intense, it's complex, and it's like no other. It's not like business. Business is easy. This is not. This is different. And I think the folks that you've voiced your confidence in are the right people. We've looked at it long and hard with the goal in mind is what's best for Biloxi. This is what's best for Biloxi, so I thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. All right. We vote on
So
it?
moved. Yeah, we voted.
All right. Move on to the consent.
So moved.
Mr. Creel, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Tisdale. Mr. Creel.
If I could, let's see here. Jamie, real quick, on item G. So this list of equipment here, or I guess lack thereof, right? So this is equipment we don't have?
Right, yes, sir.
Now, one thing that we need to, Mr. Krill, remember is switching out from the past to the future, we went and did a very thorough inventory on there. So this will have the slate clean as Mr. Lee moves into that directorship.
Perfect. That was just looking for clarification is all. Now, was there a police report or anything filled out when these items come missing, or do we not? Do we do anything of that nature?
We're following up on those right now to see if they were surplus in the past, if they were missing, the expenditure of it, and also the lifehood of it.
Gotcha. Perfect. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
And then, let's see here, where did my paper go? Item Z. So just getting some clarification on the titlings. Is this money that we've already been appropriated that we're reallocating, or is this new titlings request, or?
This is funding that we have already received. We actually received it in '24. It's for the Pomps Ferry where that circular pier was.
Right.
We removed that. We have quite a bit of additional funding still left. We're asking them to allow us to use it within the park, but not necessarily on that pier.
Okay, so it'd still be used at the causeway, it's just in another area of the causeway.
Ferry Causeway Park.
Okay, perfect, thank you. That's all I have, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Creel. Mr. Tisdale?
Yes, thank you. On item J, this deals with think pads in the police department. Are these think pads that are replacing older technology, or are they in addition to what you already have?
Some are both. Some are replacing and some are additional.
Thank you, Chief.
Yes, sir.
On item K, this deals with limited taxable bonds, Series A and B, from 2017. Could someone explain what we're doing here exactly? Thank you, Rachel. And basically, what we're doing and why, and apparently there's a plan, whatever the plan is, if you would. Okay, thank you.
These are bond funds that have never been recognized into a budget. When we take the bond, and I'm using round numbers here, if we have 7 million, but we've only recognized 6 million of it into projects, that million stays on our balance sheet but is not allocated. That's what happened here. This is that it's approximately $1 million of bond funds. And so we're going to recognize this into our port repair project, and at the same time, we'll take that same amount of money out of the port project and put it into a new project, so that it's, everything, the funding is staying even.
All right, that new project would be the next item, item L.
Correct.
So we're recognizing roughly $716,000 from the proceeds of the bonds, and then that interest earned on the bonds was about $380,000.
Correct.
That's roughly $1 million. Okay, thank you. Go ahead, James.
Question on that real quick. So is, for the Lighthouse Pier, since he moved on to L, do we have the match? Is that match money there? Is that what that's used for?
Right now, I mean, while we do have plans, and the mayor has definitely been working on this project, this is really just an anticipation. We're squirreling our money, planning for it. There's no contract currently against this project. It's brand new, but it'll be there to allow us to move forward.
And then are there plans on the pier yet? Have we devised a plan Okay. Thank you.
So item L, this deals with the Lighthouse Pier, and I don't want, sometimes people get excited when they hear Lighthouse Pier, one way or the other. And basically, all we're doing is creating this capital project, and we're moving this roughly $1.1 million into this project.
Correct.
And the other project that we moved it from, I think, was it 1102?
Yes.
1102, and that's basically just a spot where we park money for improvements to the piers, wharves, and so forth.
1102 is improvements to the piers. We're putting the port bond money into that project because we have limited amounts of time to spend bond funding, and this is capable of using it quickly.
Okay, and really two things. Mayor, I know you've mentioned this a couple of times, but as you often mention, you talk really fast, and I can't often hear that fast. So if you could put together something for me, just a breakdown of the cost for the proposed Lighthouse Pier, what it's going to cost, what FEMA, all out of local funds, that kind of stuff. I just want to be sure that I understand that. And do we have some plans at this point drawn up? Is that accurate?
Initial estimates, and again, we're going to Jackson tomorrow to discuss some of those detailed plans, both with FEMA and MEMA, and those are both subjects that are very critical. Real shortly, short order, in Zeta, it was the first opportunity to build things back better than it was before. The premise was, in 2021, I think, as we start timing in 2021, we were expecting a significant amount of money. We had an opinion of probable cost to replace it as it was of $1.2 million. And my arithmetic said we were going to get an additional $1.2 million. We designed and paid for the planning of a $4.2 million pier with the expectation that about $2 to $2.4 million coming from the federal government, and the rest would come from our funding source. Since that time, this will be our second appeal, which drags on and on and on, appealing that their determination it would only take $555,000 to replace that pier as was, which we don't think that is anywhere close to what it should be considered. Bottom line, we do have plans for a $4.2 million pier that includes a 326 feet of breakwater that would protect the pier as it ties into the bulkhead and the seawall, with the concrete bulkhead, concrete pilings, flow-through decking, and a $4 million plus, maybe $5 million by the time smoke clears. But our application for that, at least half of that amount to be paid by FEMA.
Right, so that would be Plan A. Do we have a Plan B in case FEMA doesn't cooperate?
Well, we have a Plan B, but it would be, actually committing some funds long-term to do that. This will be the third time we've repaired this pier. And part of this whole game that FEMA played to show repetitive damage to that pier, I think this will be the third time I've had to deal with it over the last 10 years, but there's been at least, Tanya, $3.6 million spent on that pier over the last 20 years. So we've demonstrated everything we need to demonstrate, and we just need, again, we've been in Washington a number of times, at least the last 2 times, with that as being the subject. And we've been told, and we've been, pleading our case, and it's crunch time now. And both the need to get additional funding for the completion of the $340 million infrastructure, as well as this pier, or the high priority in our administration where FEMA can come into play. So that's a lot, and it's fast. But bottom line, we're expecting at least $2 million plus coming from FEMA, and we're going to put our $2 million up as the port bond allows us to do that.
Secretary of State built a pier on Deer Island. I don't know how long that's been.
Yeah, it's $475,000.
Right, and how long, I'm thinking, was that before Zeta? I think it was, but.
Yeah, before Zeta.
I'm thinking, and it withstood Zeta. I don't know how long, and I'm just saying Plan B might include construction of that nature or something like that. I just know when you deal with the government, we are a form, we're the local level, but when you deal with the feds, it's nice to have a plan A and a plan B, and quite often you need a plan C. And the only reason I mention that is we've been going toe-to-toe for 5 years. That's how long ago Zeta was there. That's half your term. I know it's no fun for you. You're trying to do the right thing, and we would hope that FEMA does the right thing. Maybe they do, maybe they don't, but at some point, they'll make a decision, and then we have to make decisions. So, okay, that's all I have on item L. On item T, which deals with a special event agreement with Cruising the Coast, I know that we allocated $24,300 in non-departmental funding to support this event, and we also provide some in-kind services. Is there any estimate on what our in-kind services cost? I don't expect you to have the figure here. If you could get that to me, I just know there's a lot of barricades, there's a lot of overtime, there's a lot of people tied up with that. Fire away, Chief, no pun intended.
No, sir. I'll put it together and have it to you within a couple of days.
Okay, but also I know there are costs associated with public works and all. It's just
We'll put it all together.
good deal. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Can you make sure that we all get a copy of it? Can you make sure we all get a copy of it?
All right, let's see.
Here with you, all 7 of y'all, all the time, Councilman.
All right.
Got an email today, didn't you?
Then on item QQ, is an intent to finance for vehicles or so forth. Peter, could you explain to us what we're doing here? And I know Exhibit A lists a number of different vehicles that I would assume would be the object of this finance. Or Peter in a Rachel suit. Go ahead.
I can address both of these, both Q, RR, because they're
RR is similar, yeah. Go ahead with QQ, please.
for the Water Sewer Enterprise Fund. When we take lease purchases, if we are taking them to repay ourselves so that we're, rather than having a loan closing for every truck, if we decide that we're going to buy it, pay it out of the general fund, and then repay ourselves with proceeds, in order for it to be a non-taxable loan, basically the lease purchase, we have to do this declaration of intent. This is not committing us to anything. We are saying that we intend to take these lease purchases and we will repay the general fund or the water sewer fund, whichever is appropriate, with those proceeds.
Didn't we do this?
We did.
Before last year? I don't know, did we ever purchase a vehicle?
End of '24, we did 3 lease purchases, one of which ended up being a taxable lease purchase because this declaration was not done.
Right, several years ago,
Declaration done.
we did not do this and the interest rate was higher. So as a result of that, we've done this ever since.
Gotcha. Okay. And it's just an intent?
Yes.
More or less. And at some point, whichever vehicles we elect to purchase still come to us?
Yes.
Okay. And then on item RR, which is to reimburse the water sewer fund for vehicles, same type of arrangement, that's accurate?
Yes.
All right, anything legally, Peter, we need to know other than that, it's similar to what was discussed on the previous item?
Same thing.
Okay, thank you. And here you are. On WW, which is accepting a bid for uniforms and accessories and related services for a number of departments. Peter, are we losing bidders? I think we require the bidders whatever price they submit for the items, we require them to hold that price for 2 years. Does that,
Well, we
given the current atmosphere and the prices of things, depending on who's being tariffed or not, are we losing bidders because of that, I guess?
No, I mean, I think we'd been under a long contract with UniFirst that Billy Ray was sort of shepherding, and issues we've had with them, I think we've got a good handle on limiting the scope of what needs to be supplied as a uniform, the prices, the cleaning of it. I think we did the RFP this year to where the uniform company could not take advantage of us on certain areas. So we've kind of,
I noticed that we did have some bidders. I can't recall how many off the top of my head, but I think it was a few, maybe it was 2 or just one. It's a single one. So that's in the past?
2.
2, okay.
One that was upset about what you talked about.
Okay. I'm just thinking it'd be tough in the current economic atmosphere we're in, I think, maybe to give you a quote, not knowing what's going to happen from month to month or year to year.
I think the terms of this one is more favorable than what we got out of.
Yeah.
What we've had before.
Sure, okay. And it's entirely up to whoever wants to bid or not bid based on whether they think it's a good deal for them or not. All right, I think. Mr. Glavin, I've come to the end of my list.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Creel?
Oh, no, actually, I moved it. He's second, so we're good.
All right. Mr. Shoemaker, you have anything?
I just got accepted.
Well, I guess all of mine pretty much have been answered, all the questions I had, other than maybe UU, and that's just regarding knee case and $3,000, I guess. I understand it's a change order, and I understand maybe they had to do a little bit of extra work. It's $3,000.
Good afternoon, Council. Regarding 5UU, Councilman Shoemaker, yes, you see the backup documentation with the resolution from the contractor, Nikkei's Brothers Construction Company. They came across an unknown foundation that was underground at Gateway Drive, and they had to rent a ram hoe to break it up because of its size and density of the concrete. Nikkei's and their subcontractor, they do have track hose, but they don't have track hose with ram hammer attachments. And so this is something they had to go out and rent from Caterpillar or, Puckett Rents, which typically is Caterpillar products.
And if we owe them money, certainly if they had to rent something. However, I find it very hard to believe they wouldn't have something to do that. But $3,000, and what's left of this contract is $6 million. Is that weird or just kind of odd to put in a change order for $3,000 in the scheme of $6 million? I'm just wondering if it's some kind of stall tactic to stall. I mean, it seems like everything we do, nothing's getting done, but we do a lot for them.
Yes or no, this change order, both me and my staff, it's warranted. We had similar issues along this DEA project where there's just a bunch of old sign foundations, pre-Katrina or even back in the Camille days that just wasn't picked up in the plan. So
let me jump in front too. On these kinds of contracts, it's a giant spreadsheet. If it has so many linear feet, so many pounds, so much equipment, so much mobilization, it is literally, a book that thick. And if you got to spend an item that's on the schedule, there's a rate. How many days it's anticipated. As Walt said, this was like happened at the Sun and Sand Foundation. It was something that they ran across and they got to break it up. And I think it's not unusual to ask for these kinds of, but it's an item on that spreadsheet that we probably had to add to the spreadsheet. I don't know if there was that piece of equipment was on this spreadsheet with a rate, but it was not anticipated in doing the job, not part of a mobilization or anything like that.
The mayor is correct. We do have a line item for unforeseen obstructions as a line item that all contractors, when they bid on our infrastructure projects, have to account for. But with the type of infrastructure, what they're doing, they typically just have the typical track hoe with the buckets and the teeth. A lot of them, or at least this particular contractor, doesn't have the ram hoe or the size to break up that foundation.
Okay, and just the last I have, Walt, if you'll hang on one second, is VV.
Yes, sir, that's related to the additional days requested by the contractor.
Yes, sir, and I guess all I'm going to ask is it warranted, in your opinion, is it warranted?
The contractor asked for 175 days, and we were just like, well, no. This wasn't a design issue related to, as I've told council on previous meetings, related to, there was a lot of overlay along Highway 90. These plans were originally designed in 2012, 2013, and they're reissued in 2021, 2022. So the designer didn't come back and recognize that there had been a lot of overlay. So there's tying issues, but 175 days that Nikkei's brothers asked for, no, absolutely not. Because there was other areas of the projects that they could work. In days they could still work. Well, you know, but talking with my project manager and the inspectors, and of course my own trips out there daily, we felt 45 should be sufficient in our opinion. You notice they did not sign it. So we are going to request the council approve it based on our recommendation, and we will see how this ends up at the end of the contract.
Question on that. If it fails today, so we don't extend the 45 days, right?
That is correct.
Okay.
And just curious, if we do not extend the 45 days, then what happens?
Council, before we sort of get into what ifs, things like that, something that's could surely go into litigation, that probably is better addressed in executive session.
All right, that's fine.
How this project here, how many times has it been extended?
It's inclusive of rain days and other kinds of things too. I guess that's what you're asking. There's a number of weather days, rain days that are part of this too.
Yes, sir, the mayor is correct. The original, prior to this specific request for additional 45 days, the project, I wouldn't say how many, but it's been extended 109 days for all areas, primarily due to weather. In this case, Camellia Street, it did have a design issue, so it took a little bit time to work that out so we could tie it in with Highway 90 and Southern Avenue. Again, they asked for 175 days. We said absolutely not. That's why you don't have the contractor signature. They just don't agree. So
it's 109, then an additional 175, so it would be what?
No,
284.
44 more on
Right, no, but they're requesting 175. We're offering 45, correct?
Yes,
44,
sir.
yeah.
Right.
45. Yeah.
In that 45 days, 44, are they going to do anything with, to try to get anything straightened out for cruising, you think?
Yes,
Does that have
sir.
anything to do with it, maybe?
No, what they are working on, and if you go down Highway 90 right now, you'll see the contractor has crews starting around Super 8 Motel, which is by Big Play, and they're going through every single driveway entrance. They're removing the old temporary asphalt or the aggregate, and they're putting back the permanent asphalt or concrete, depending on what was there prior to the start of construction. And they are aware, obviously, of cruising the coast. And having said that, with cruising the coast, this, if the council does approve this 45 days, which me and my staff recommend, there will be another change order for the cruising the coast time, because that was an unanticipated impact to this particular contract. It's in there under the original time, but because we extended it, they would be due the additional 8 days, or we'd recommend it. But you can go up and down the coast, I mean, in their project area, and see obviously whether they got contractor crews out there or not. I know we have a lot of sidewalks. We issued a letter out yesterday, I believe, Monday, yes. Say, hey, you know, we've got at least 2,600 linear feet of sidewalks that y'all haven't touched in two and a half years. Why isn't it getting done? We need a schedule. When are you going to get it done? The response back we got was, well, show us the plans on where these sidewalks are missing or damaged. Well, we've marked up a set of plans and sent it to them, but anybody that drives there every day can see where the sidewalks have been removed for them to install the infrastructure.
And I guess the reason, it just seems like we have multiple issues with the same company on multiple projects within the city. But what I see is we continually, and I know some of that we have to, and some of that is warranted, but certainly not all of it. And we just seems like bending over backwards to help them. And we'll be having this discussion next year, and the next year, and the next year. I don't know that we're ever going to get anywhere until we, I don't know, and do something. But I mean, I understand what you're saying, Walt. The 45 days, they asked for a lot more. However, they must not have liked what you said because they didn't sign it. But at some point, we're going to have to deal with this company, or we're going to keep seeing this forever. And that's all I have. Thank you.
If you think this has been bad, where were you in 2015 when we had one company and thousands of days, no plans? I mean, this may be, in at first glance, feel like it's a forever, but it is a forever kind of constant thing. But we learned some things in these last projects south of contract to do as much as you can before you move to the other. I mean, we had 55 miles of street, owed $17 million, had to borrow $11 million in 2015 to complete this thing. If you'd have been in the trenches with us, this is.
So Mayor, let me ask the question.
Yeah.
We got this on the consent agenda today. Is it behoove us to look deeper into it with the executive session, or should we continue to negotiate with them and try to push this forward?
To me, this is part of business, and at part of the back and forth in dealing with these contractors. They've been systematically going from east to west and doing the things they can. We don't, as Walt said, they asked for 175 days. 44 days would say, okay, this is what you do. I think it's part of the systemic way to finish this project. We want to get done with it.
Let me ask another question. Can we tack on some kind of note or agenda or addendum on this to let this contractor know that this council is wearing thin with us, and we're not too happy, and we'd like to see some progress? Legally, can we do that, Peter? Just say our patience is wearing thin on the progress. We don't understand why it's dragging out.
It's all public record now, so, I mean, it is.
All right. Well, I hope that's conveyed. Walt, can you convey that wherever this goes today? But we may, we take some action to make a statement and it ends up pushing us further back than forward. Maybe we can go forward a step with sending them a message. Hey, something's got to happen. And I understand exactly what Mr. Shoemaker is saying. And he may be thinking, well, heck, we've tried this and we're still not getting too far. We're still crawling on our knees here.
Well,
Mr. Shoemaker.
Sure. If I could just say one thing, and I respect what you said, Mayor. However, we've got to hold their feet to the fire, because if we don't, it's business as usual. They see what they're getting away with, and I know it's aggravating, and there was a whole lot more issues back in 2015, but this is going to be a repeat with just a different company, I'm assuming. I don't know Walt, what you were talking about with the sidewalk, but it doesn't matter really. If it's 2.5 years past due, quite frankly, that's unacceptable. What have we had in 2.5 years to keep them from doing the job that we as the city hired them to do? I don't know anywhere you can go as a company and not do a job for 2 years and nothing happens. I just think we're going to keep kicking the can down the curb or down the street, and at some point we're going to have to face it and deal with it, and let's get moving. They got projects they're working on. We all hear about everybody up here, all you guys, the administration hears about these problems, and maybe if they'd finish one, we could get somewhere and wouldn't hear and getting yelled at by the constituents all the time.
We're shooting to end this light at the end of the tunnel is at the end of this year is what we were playing with, right? With B-Wall 1, 2, and 3.
Yes, sir.
Hopefully so.
With this change order and the the next one we're going to propose to the council, which will be for the cruising coast time. I do not foresee any other change orders other than weather, which since our last one, it really hasn't rained that much, if any, at all. So we're nearing the end of any additional time that could be warranted as I sit here today for this contractor. So it's coming up pretty quick, and there's a lot of work for them to do in a short amount of time.
So if we didn't support this, would it delay it or potentially delay it, or would it move it forward, the work to get done?
Ask the question again, Councilman, I'm sorry.
If we didn't support this resolution, would it delay them getting the job done, or would it help get the job done?
I wouldn't say it would delay it. They still have a responsibility to finish out a contract. You know, we got a contract and there's legal issues come up. They still have a responsibility to finish it. But it would definitely get into a situation, well, again, I don't want to get into it.
Let me say that, you know, they get paid for the work that they do. If they want to make profit on the work they do, they got to finish work. So that's the main thing. That's their incentive. Do the job, you get paid, your profits in the, how much you lay and how much things you do. That's the incentive. We tell you, you got so many days over a year to do the job. So that's, you know, no more profit. If you don't do the work, you don't make the profit. So the profit is the deal.
Got it. Mr. Gray.
This is what happens when a city lets one company take on 3 big major projects, and they stretch yourself thin doing that, and the city hurts, and the businesses that hurt, that are they affected.
Let me say this. I've been going through this every day since I've been mayor. There are laws that the lowest bid wins this, and you have no real issues. You can't use performance or capacity to perform in making these decisions. You know, from a federal government, there's something called a red book, and there's all kinds of rules and regs that, you know, me and you in business could pull a trigger. You know,
the red book, I know.
But that's the challenges we've had for the last 10 years on this thing.
But I mean, there are most of our businesses hurting over off Camellia Street and down 90. So we keep letting them do it. I don't support the 45 days. I just can't. Not with it being so dry, they ain't done anything on Camellia in a while. I mean, them businesses been on dirt for how long? For a while. That's all I got.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mr. Creel.
So, real quick, speaking of the business, the poor sanctuary, that guy's trying to have events over there, and it's crazy trying to get to his place, first of all. Second of all, I understand the guy's in business. We just, on this thing, we're approving something that he didn't have. He took the job. He knew what it was going to entail. Now he's asking us to pay for a piece of equipment that he needs to finish the job. And it is the lowest bid, you're right, but it's the lowest and best bid. So that's where that red book comes in handy.
Well, plus he shouldn't have took on a third job if he wasn't finished with the first 2.
Mr. Tisdale?
Yeah, just, I'm going to think out loud for a moment here. Walt, you deal with these contractors all day, every day. That's your job. You stay after them, you poke them when you have to. Sometimes there are good reasons why they couldn't do in a timely manner what was expected of them to do. I realize also that sometimes the leverage in the relationship changes at different points of these construction projects. That being said, you're more familiar with that than anybody. And if you recommend an additional 45 days, I'd support that. Thank you.
In reference to this, there's nothing in the contract for not completing it by a certain time, a penalty or anything? They don't lose anything?
Well, it's not a penalty, Councilman, that's a good question. It's not a penalty, it's called liquidated damages. It's spelled out in the black and white of the contract documents and in the red book. What that entails when a contractor does not complete the contract within the given time. Of course, they have their side and we have ours, and then you get into the litigation. But we do have it in there as liquidated damages.
Okay, then we need to stick with that.
Well, I would only ask the council to consider that this is, the recommendation is from me and my staff, and again, that's why you don't see the contractor having signed it, because he wanted 175, which we do not feel is warranted. If he was working up and down the project with all his crews during all that time and getting everything done, and now he's where he is now with Camellia Street, then we'd be like, okay. But we didn't see that, and we did pretty good scrubbing of the dailies, trying to see what was going on or what wasn't going on, and we believe the 45 days is warranted. We're quickly coming up to the end of fall, and his time's going to run out, and then we may get into the liquidated damages.
So just to be clear, I'm sorry, Councilman, this is your recommendations. This isn't their recommendations, this is your recommendation.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we just need to pull the trigger and go and do what we're gonna do. I represent the people, I represent the businesses, and we're gonna put this one business above all our taxpaying businesses who are suffering. My answer is very clear on that. They have a contract, we signed the contract, and no, I have not heard anything good about this company at all. And yet they're coming in asking for more. We gotta pay for the equipment they're supposed to, they already have, they don't have a job, they don't have the equipment to do the job. So, pull the trigger, never send a message. Don't play with us like that.
Thanks, Walt.
Yes.
Any other comments? Any other discussion? So to be clear, this is Mr. Rohde's recommendations, for dealing with this contractor. This isn't what they asked for. Sometimes you got to hold your nose and vote for it and let Mr. Rohde do his job, and hopefully they're watching today on the demeanor of this council, and we understand the brevity and gravity of our votes today. All right, there being no other discussion on this matter, we'll continue to move on. You still have the floor, Mr. Creel, I believe, or Mr. Shoemaker, I'm sorry. We'll move to Mr. Nail. Any subjects on the consent?
No.
Mr. Gray, I'll come back to you. Mr. Marshall. Mr. Gray, you have anything?
No, Councilman Tisdale done asked all my questions.
Okay, very good. Mr. Marshall.
Let's see. MM.
That's CBDG.
Resolution amending the municipal budget for fiscal year September 3rd, 2025 for capital project 1039, Main Street crossing upgrade.
Yes.
In reference to this, we're talking, this is CSX crossing.
Correct.
Okay, they own their property. All my life, I've been told that those tracks belong not to us, but to CSX.
That is correct, and they
Okay.
contributed.
Okay, but we went out and got the money to fix it. In there, we're noticing that we have a project in East Biloxi, and we just call it East Biloxi Recreation Center. I noticed that in my research, we took $120,000.
That is correct, and we returned 18,000 of that back to that project when we completed construction on the railroad crossing.
So we left a total that has not been returned back to that project of approximately how much?
$102,000 of bond money was utilized in this Main Street crossing project.
Okay, $102,000 taken from that project specifically. That was placed in that project for a purpose that we got pictures of us standing out there flipping the ground about, we spent $218,000 on the plans, drawings of that. We took 120, which eventually, with all we taken out, we're down to $45.
I'm sorry, are you asking about the recreation center or about item
The
in?
recreation center, we're down to like $48.25. Okay.
Funding, yes.
So when we close this out, we're seeing that the railroad project, which received a total of $102,000 of the money, none of that goes back into the recreation center?
No, if the money is spent, anything that was taken that was not spent did go back. That's that 18,000 that went back.
Okay. All right.
We've accomplished what the purpose of the East Biloxi project, as it was funded, was, which was to design. That's done.
So wait a minute, whoa,
The funding remaining was used elsewhere.
wait a minute. So let me get this clear. The purpose was never to build the building, it was just to design the building?
The funding that was allocated was to design. 500,000 would never have built this building, ever. That was to get our designs. We've done that.
So we have people from our community out there turning dirt on something that wasn't gonna happen.
Nobody said it's not going to happen, but there was never funding to do construction with. That wasn't the point.
So there was no funding to build a building that was promised.
There was the funding to get it designed. After we design, then we can begin seeking grant funding and other funding, which is typically how we do our projects. We put in an initial amount that allows us to get a design, an estimate of how much it's going to cost, what all is going to be needed in this, and then we can use that information to pursue additional funding or allocate city funding or whatever after we have gotten to a certain point. But with the 500,000 that was put in there, there could have never been an intent. That was just to get our initial stages done so that we could get the designs. We've done that.
So let me be clear, because this is an ongoing thorn in my side for my community. They were promised a recreation center. They were also promised that that was the money to start to build that recreation center. So you're saying that that was not the intent of those funds? Those are
For what was promised.
The funding was to design the center.
Design, and
After design, you have a opinion of probable cost, then you have an opportunity to funding source, the ability to go forward with a bid.
Okay. Do we own the property?
No.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Marshall. I don't have anything to add.
Whoa, that was just my,
Oh, you still?
Yeah, I got it.
Let me come back to you.
AAA, triple A.
Triple A.
Resolution to execute a funding agreement. The City of Biloxi, 2025, Mrs. Susan Pickett.
I'm here.
There you are.
I'm here.
All right. And I did promise you I would be nice, and I will be nice.
That's 6 times.
Ah.
Times.
Ah.
So take advantage. 6 more, maybe less. You want me to explain the resolution?
Yes.
This resolution is the final step, which is the grant agreement from HUD that the mayor will sign, HUD will sign, they will send to Fort Worth, and they will put the grant, our grant for 2025 in locks, and we can start our program year. That's all this is the final step.
Okay, so none of that has been spent?
No, we can't spend it because it's total. That's the end, final approval.
Okay. Okay, now, it's my understanding that after this is done, because of our talks in the past, if we choose to do a substantial amendment, we could still do that, to change the use of the funds.
Yes, you could do that.
Okay. What would be the steps to do that?
Whether it's council or organization or whoever, get with the mayor and Rick, and they will discuss what wants to be done or whatever. Then the administration will get with my office, and they'll say, we want to do this, is it eligible? And then the process will start. Then that's whenever everything will be advertised, a public hearing, 30-day comment, period, and it will come back to the council for the council to approve, and then it will go to HUD for final approval.
Okay. All right, so has any bids been put out for this, any of this money, committed bids?
Oh, we can't, well, it's committed because we have partial money sitting there, and we're waiting on this to be approved to finish the road project. The design is 99.9% ready to go. They're putting the specs together.
Okay. All right, so let me, because I'm kind of dense in the head. The timing that we need to file this substantial agreement, there is time to do all of this.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
But just keep in mind that this money that for 25 is allocated already.
That's the purpose of the substantial agreement, to reallocate, right?
Yes.
Okay.
You know, if the,
Yeah, reallocate because it's allocated. We understand that. Just told you I was going to be good. Thank you.
thank you.
What areas are eligible for these funds?
The map that I sent you, there's basically, at this time, there's a low mod area and all 7 wards.
Thank you.
Okay, while we're here, in the past, we bought a fire truck. And that fire truck is sitting in East Biloxi.
Correct.
Can we move that fire truck to Mr. Glavin's district?
No, because we qualified it to use in the service area of East Biloxi, which is low mod.
But he has low mod in his area, though.
Yeah, I mean, if there was a fire out there, you could take that truck out there. It's not like it can only fight fires in East Biloxi.
But I'm saying right now, it's stationed, and I talked to the fire chief about it, and he said that's going to be stationed in that particular station because of this. But why what is it stopping us from stationing that in his district?
I know. Well, that's where it's housed. It's housed in.
Why is it housed there and not in his district? Is there anything to do with his funds, allocation of their funds?
When we bought the fire truck, we bought it for the service area for East Biloxi, which is Keesler East, to the east.
So let's say we want to move that particular fire truck to his area. Is there anything in this HUD that would be illegal or cause us to have a problem?
If the service area that you're moving it to is a low mod area, you could move it.
Is that a low mod area that will qualify?
I don't, there's a little, it services a greater area.
So the question is there anything that stop us? You know the map, you know his service area, you know his low mod area, that's your job. So is there anything to stop from moving that truck over there?
If that fire station where you want to move it to is located in a low mod area, yes, you can move it.
Is your fire station in the low mod area?
It's certainly near a low mod area. And we certainly want to help anyone that's in a low mod area. We want to do everything that we can to help them.
Listen to the lady.
Not disenfranchise them, but I would agree with that.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you being honest. Say it again.
Thank you.
No, say it again about his area not qualified.
That one area, but he does have low mod area.
I'm not contesting it. I'm asking you one specific question.
The fire station in Kenny's ward is not in a low mod area.
So we can't prove, so
Why would we want to move it?
we don't want to move it. I just want to know, is there a reason why we can't move it, if we wanted to move it?
If I may, Fire Station 5 in West Biloxi in Ward 5 is in a low mod area.
And we have,
So we could move it to Tisdale's if you want.
So I'll be glad to take that newer fire truck anytime you want to see
So
it.
there are restrictions.
yes.
Okay, that's all I'm trying to get to. There's a reason, so we're in certain areas, there are certain restrictions.
Yeah.
Now, can we use this fire truck to put a fire out that's not in a low mod area?
Yes.
Can take that fire truck.
Yeah. We just know that you have to buy your own fire truck.
But if it would come eligible, we could buy you a fire truck.
Yeah.
In other words, if your area,
Okay, it became low mod with the fire station.
if your area starts to look more like East Biloxi, then you will definitely not be sitting up here talking about a fire truck. Next is gonna be a thank you.
Well, you're right, I'm not from,
Am I through?
we're all from Biloxi, and we look at this from an entire Biloxi lens, and what's good for all of Biloxi and for all of our constituents. And to try to leverage something, so I'll vote for something as long as I get something. I would hope that we would all revisit our thoughts on that. Not no particular company.
So there's a reason why the map is drawn that way. I think that's what the whole point is. It's not leveraging, it's speaking up for those who don't have.
You're correct.
And that's all we're doing.
There's low mod in all of our wards, and there's people that don't have in all of our wards.
They're speaking up for our areas.
For everyone.
They're speaking up for an area that needs it and it has to have it versus an area that has a little bit. We're all hungry. We all get hungry, but there's a difference with those who are starving. There's two different things. We all poor, but there's a difference those who are out poor. There's two different things. We're not pivoting, we're not putting one against the other, but I am speaking up for those who need it the most. That's all
Thank you,
I'm
Mr.
doing.
Marshall. Your efforts and intentions are appreciated.
Okay, the next on the item. It's K&L. I know we was asking, she was explaining it to us. But I did have another question or two on it. I guess my question, no, ma'am, I guess my question is gonna be more to the mayor, if you don't mind. Did he leave me?
Peter, I'll answer your question if we can. Or we'll wait.
How many years have you waited on this pier?
It was damaged in 2020.
Sir?
It was damaged in 2020.
Okay, so what you're saying, what I understand it, because I'm really having trouble following it. We have 2 million, we're gonna put 2 million, we're trying to go get 2 more million from where?
I think I repeated it already. The whole part of the mitigation allowance of Zeta that was never done before, part of that mitigation that they would, additional money they would do to build something better than it was, requires an opinion of professional cost. That to build it back as it was, a wooden pier 800 feet long. FEMA offered the opportunity that we would give you an additional cost to match up with your OPC of what it would take to build a wooden pier back. Okay. As it turns out, to do the things with concrete pilings, concrete fasteners, flow-through decking, those breakwater amenities would cost $4.2 million. To put it back as it was, estimated by Seymour Engineering of 1 point, and that's, Christie, was that 3 years ago or 4 years ago? 3 years ago. We, paid about $75,000 or $100,000 to do that. Okay. Came up with that $1.2 million. Submitted it to FEMA. They submitted it to FEMA. And bottom line, it was whittled down from 1.2 million to 555,000. So the $4.2 million project, expecting a partnership, we would invest $2 million, they would get 2.4 million, we got a pier that will never have to be rebuilt. That process started right after Zeta. If you ask me how long we've been doing this, we've been doing that for that long.
So if you go to, you said you're gonna go to Jackson tomorrow?
Yeah. Okay,
if it doesn't work, I know he was asking about a plan B. We need a pier. So what's the goal then? If you don't get your extra money, what's the goal? What's the plan? We gotta have a pier. People think it's in my ward. It's the city of Biloxi. I'm for the city of Biloxi, but technically it's not in my ward. Is it your ward? And they're asking us, what about the pier? So what's the answer?
Well, one answer, plan A, B, and C, is that the United States government, the Congress, would pass an appropriation allowing us to not only finish that pier, but the $100 or so million that we'll need in order to finish the infrastructure project. That's a plan B, and it's a better plan than plan A.
What do we have to do to get the pier? The pier?
We need to get $4.2 million in our hands to fund it.
I got just as far as he did.
Can we start it with the money we got?
We engineered it, and we can proceed with that.
Okay. QQRR. We're going to go both at the same time. Is my understanding that we're not actually buying vehicles, we're just entering into some type of a program that allow us to buy the vehicles in case we do to choose to buy them?
This will allow us to pass this resolution, and Peter may be able to go into more detail, but this will allow us not to be charged taxes on the purchase of the vehicle at that time. If we don't do this, then we're going to be paying taxes on those vehicles. So this is a savings that we're looking at doing, generating a savings in revenue. Is that correct, Peter? Okay.
So, well, it is a savings, but I think it's a difference in when you go to the banks to get your finance rate, is it a taxable lease or a non-taxable lease? And you get a better rate when it's non-taxable.
Okay, all right, thank you. Let me double check my notes here, make sure I got everything. Okay, I'm good.
Thank you, Mr. Marshall. Anyone, did you miss anything? Anybody miss anything, Mr. Tisdale? No, okay. All right, we'll go ahead and call for the question, and then we'll ask for exceptions. All in favor? Consent? All opposed?
Abstain?
Mr. Marshall, let the record show you abstained. I'll ask for the exceptions, starting with Mr. Gray.
VV.
Did you get that? Mr. Marshall?
MM, AA, K, L, QQ.
Hold on, the clerk has a question. You abstained for the whole consent, so therefore you abstained
From every item.
from every item.
Well, I vote no then.
Can he go back and change his vote? Can I ask?
Yeah, I mean, it's,
All right.
it's not been.
Can I ask for your vote on the consent?
No.
Your vote's no on the consent? That means you vote no on everything.
Okay.
So will you approve the consent, and then we can ask for your exception?
Tell you what, go back. Okay. Voting yes, then I'm gonna give you my exception.
Thank you. So let the record show that Mr. Marshall has changed his vote for the consent agenda from abstaining to approving it, and now he wants to enter into the record his exceptions. Go ahead, Mr. Marshall, if you begin from MM, I believe is what I heard, and speak clearly so the clerk can record your answers.
AAA, K, L, QQ, RR, VV. Victor, Victor.
Okay. Mr. Nail, any exceptions? Mr. Creel?
What was his?
BB. BB?
EV.
Okay.
We got it.
Victor,
We
Victor.
got it. Yeah, we got it.
VV. Mr. Creel?
B as in boy, C, cat, D as in dog, E, F as in Frank, and V, Victor, Victor.
Mr. Tisdale?
Yes, I'm voting no on item B, C, D, E, and F, and I'm abstaining on item S.
Thank you. Mr. Shoemaker?
B as in boy, C, D as in David, E, F, and V, Victor, Victor.
Thank you, Mr. Shoemaker. I have no exceptions. We'll move on to code enforcement, Mr. Creel.
Hey, Kenny. I want to excuse myself.
Hold on, excuse me, 1 second.
I want to accuse myself from A and K. That's my neighbor.
Okay, did you get that? A and K, Mr. Gray would like to recuse himself or to abstain or recuse? Abstain. Would you like to abstain?
Yeah.
He would like to abstain.
A and K.
A and K. Now we'll start with code enforcement, Mr. Creel.
Okay. Item A, Philip H. Sass, Revocable Trust, 205 Iroquois Street. That case has been resolved. Item B, Miss 10 LLC, 13100 Hudson Crown Road. That case has been resolved. Item C, Sylvia A. Bosco, Life Estate, 1662 Pass Road. This property is still in violation.
Is there anyone here to speak on behalf of Sylvia A. Bosco, 1662 Pass Road?
Is that him?
There being no one, this case is closed.
Item D, Moini Mohammed Estate, 0 Bayview Avenue. That case has been resolved. Item E, Biloxi Associates LP, care of Negro, Carlin, Siegel, and Felstrom. That case has been resolved. That's 328 Rosalie Maria Drive. Item F, Michael T. Tootle, 383 Brown Street. This property is still in violation.
Is there anyone here to speak on behalf of Michael T. Toole, 383 Braun Street? Anyone here? There being no one, this case is closed.
Item G, Mississippi Coast Coliseum Commission, 0 Highway 90. That case has been resolved. Item H, Division File Lee LLC, 511 Division Street. That case has been resolved. Item I, Robert M. and Jeremiah R. Daly, 0 Bayshore Avenue. That case has been resolved. Item J, Harry J. Now Sr., 0 Moran Alley. That case has been resolved. Item K, Philip H. Sass Revocable Trust, 0 Railroad Street. That case has been resolved.
Oh, wait. On that one, is that the, there's two, he has two of them on there, A and K.
That's correct. Both have been resolved.
One of them has it, because it's 6 foot tall back there. So maybe they need to table one of these before it gets resolved,
Okay,
because it's on the other side of my fence.
okay.
So one of them is not, I don't know, one of them should be his yard, the other one should be right, his back part, that's right on the side of mine.
Okay, I'll check with the
Councilman, since there is a dispute here, of course, you got eyewitness, do we just table this for a week, or?
Yeah,
till the next meeting, which is 2 weeks.
All right.
yeah, that's good.
Would you like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to table it.
Do I have a second?
A and K, because we're not for sure which piece
I'll
of
second
property
it.
that's on there.
Okay, and I'll check with our code officer that
right.
reported those as being resolved.
Been duly motioned and seconded by Mr. Tisdale.
Hold on a minute, Kenny.
Any discussion? Wait a minute.
I think so.
Yeah.
Right.
A, for the record, we closed it. There was no one here to speak on behalf or against it, so we did close that one. You do have an opportunity on this one to keep it
Well,
open.
we're not for sure which one
We
was.
closed it,
was it?
Councilman. I'm sorry I hit the gavel.
Okay.
Not on A, you did.
Mr.
We'll do.
Not on A, you
Ray,
did.
which one backs up to your house? Is it the one on Iroquois or the one
Yes.
on Railroad?
On A,
The one on Iroquois.
Okay, so that would be A.
no, A, we did.
You didn't gavel A.
Did I gavel A? Did we vote on A? Yes. There was a, Councilman Creel would like to verify.
We reconsider. Yeah, can we reconsider that?
A is closed. I asked if there was anyone here to speak on behalf or against it. No one spoke on behalf or against it, and I said this case is now closed. If you re-inspect the property and find there are additional violations, go ahead and cite the property and
We'll do that.
and bring it back to us.
Do that. Okay.
A was resolved. So you didn't gavel A.
Okay. Do we,
That case was closed when we moved on, when he said it was resolved. Anyone had an opportunity to object at that time, which they did not, so we moved on to the next case.
I get it, but you didn't gavel A.
Okay. Well, in all intents and purposes, that case has been resolved. There was no opportunity before we moved on to the next case. If there is a violation, I would suggest you cite it and bring it back to the council. Thank you.
I'll find out about that.
All right, on K, though, there is a motion on the floor duly made by Mr. Gray. It was duly seconded by Mr. Tisdale.
That was, that was to table it, correct?
That was to table it.
Just K.
Just K.
Just K. Any other discussion?
But that's not the parcel.
That's not A, that's K.
Two of them side by side, so we're not for sure which one's what.
All right, but we're only voting on K, that's it.
Just table K.
All right.
All right. That's
Any
fine.
other discussion?
2 weeks.
Yeah,
2 weeks.
Next council meeting.
Next council meeting.
All right, next council meeting.
Yeah.
Next council meeting. Any other discussion? Any other discussion? Mr. Creel?
Just don't
Okay.
gavel it.
All right. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. We'll move on to L.
Robert M. and Jeremiah R. Daly, 0 Pine Street. That case has been resolved. Item M, Casaluna Acquisitions LLC, 219 Dory Street. That case has been resolved. Item N, Gilda H. Davis Estate, 346 Franks Drive. That case has been resolved. Item O, Mach 6 Holding LLC, 812 Lackland Drive. That case has been resolved. Item P, Addie M. Brown, 6308 Shady Creek Drive. That case has been resolved. And item Q, Larry Jones Jr., 0 Hudson Crone Road. That case has been resolved.
Thank you, Director. Code enforcement hearing is now closed. Need a motion for the routine.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Tisdale. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Gray. Mr. Tisdale?
Not a thing.
Can we get Mr. Brody come up, give us a, like George tell you, show us the money.
Sorry for the delay, Councilman. I had to get around our director's foot there for Public Works and Rec there. For Parks and Rec. The question, sir?
Like, see if we got any, what money we got coming in.
Yes, sir. So I believe I reported last time we were waiting on the $751.7 thousand. We did receive that. And the next round of funding that we have in there is $671.7 thousand. That's in step 3 of 5. It's been there for 11 days. When we go up to Jackson tomorrow, we will bring that subject up with MEMA to see if they can push that through. Yes, sir.
All right, any other discussion?
Yes, sir. I need to recuse on the expenses for Curry Johnson. Section 3, I
Did you
believe.
get that?
Abstain, yeah.
All right, give me 1 second. Make sure I thought it was silenced. All right, did we vote on the routine?
Yeah, voted on
Not yet. I hadn't voted yet.
All right, we'll go ahead and vote on the routine. All in favor? Those opposed? Motion carries. I'd like to make a motion in lieu of these school shootings and things that are going across America. I'd like to close in memory of Charlie Kirk and his widow's words. She said, "That young man, I forgive him." So I'd like to close in memory of that. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All right, second by Mr. Gray. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Any abstains?
I'm opposed.
Anybody abstain or vote against it?
I'm good, we're good.
It was unanimous?
No,
Very unanimous.
I'm
Yeah,
voting against, Ken.
All right, I'm sorry, I want to make sure I get these right. Mr. Tisdale voted against it. Any other votes against it? All right, passes 6-1. Thank you.